welcome back to S.T.H.M.I. I took a very long hiatus, but I'm back. A lot has changed since I've left. The Sonic Movie 2 has come out. I've seen the movie and I think it's pretty great. Just because the real sequels actually come out though, doesn't really mean that I'm gonna stop making S.T.H.M.I. I still have plenty of ideas and the series will continue right where it left off. Before we get into today's movies, I want to do a little bit of cleanup, so bear with me. 2 episodes ago, I said that I'd include a link to the Brightside Ian video that inspired this whole series in the description. I forgot to do that. I could just go back and change the video, but instead I'll just have the link to the Brightside Ian video in the description of today's episode. Also, the newest movies, the ones that I talked about in the last 2 episodes, inspired a revival of RG Sonic stuff. There's also revivals of other extended media that had their characters featured in the recent movies, but that's neither here nor there. In general, the movies oftentimes do result in re-releases and revivals of whatever they're based on. Now let's blast through some additions to previous episodes that I need to make. 1. Originally, my pitch for Sonic 2 was much different. I don't remember the minutia of the plot, but I do know that Knuckles was featured far more, with him being in the final battle along with Sonic and Tails. I also think that originally Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles all displayed their super or hyper forms during the final battle. 2. In Sonic the Hedgehog 9, when Sonic crashed into Chris Thorndyke's house, he fell in the pool in a callback to Sonic X. It was probably inferred that that was the way that it happened, but I just wanted to specify. 3. In Sonic 9, I now think that it would have been a really cool idea to have Eggman scrap his plans for world domination and use Chuck's roboticizer to roboticize everyone. With all of that preamble out of the way though, let's talk Sonic movie pitches. After the release of Sonic the Hedgehog 9, the Sonic movie series is in a precarious position. Sonic 9 wasn't a gigantic disaster, but it still didn't do great. Essentially, people at this point are getting sort of sick of the Sonic movie franchise. With that in mind, the higher-ups call in the creative team behind the Sonic films and tell them that they need to freshen up the franchise. If the team doesn't come up with a promising pitch by the next day, the series is cancelled. Likewise, if that film that they pitch releases and is even just a moderate success, the series is also cancelled. The creative team head home from the meeting and spend the rest of the day stressed out beyond belief, trying to think up anything that they could see being a truly successful and fresh movie. Just in the nick of time, at around like 3 a.m., one of the team members comes up with something that they can see working, a Tails spin-off movie. The team pitches it and the higher-ups seem to like the idea. The movie takes inspiration from the game Tails Sky Patrol, using iconography and the general story from that game to make a completely brand new experience. The movie releases and is a gigantic success, meaning that the Sonic movie franchise is saved for now. With them seeing just how successful the Tails spin-off movie was, the higher-ups ask the creative team if they can craft up another spin-off Sonic movie series. The team makes a Shadow the Hedgehog movie, with it being based off of the Shadow the Hedgehog game. With this being an adaptation of that awful game, the team is able to fix the story. No longer are cartoon animals carrying guns, as that's just ridiculous. It releases and is, once again, a pretty big hit. After 2 spin-off movies though, the team is ready to return to the main Sonic movie series. Having 2 side movies in a row has really helped out with the public perception of the series, as people are now excited to see the next Sonic movie as it's been so long since the last one. Sonic 10 adapts Sonic Unleashed and is released to critical and commercial success. The team decides that it'd be a smart idea to have spin-off films release in between main Sonic movies, so they go ahead with that plan. Tails 2 takes inspiration from the game Tails Adventure, using iconography and the general story from that game to make a completely brand new experience. It's a success, though slightly less so than the last Tails movie. After Tails 2, Shadow the Hedgehog 2 releases. It's not really based off of any game, but it does give everyone an excuse to see cool Shadow action. At the end of the film, it's revealed to Shadow that Maria's alive. This is done to essentially bring Shadow's character full circle and give him a happy ending. Because this film has such a definitive ending though, no more Shadow spin-off movies will be made. It's a success, though slightly less so than the last Shadow movie. Now 2 spin-off movies removed from Sonic the Hedgehog 10, Sonic 11 comes out. It's an adaptation of Sonic and the Secret Rings because the creative team think that it'll be a cool change of pace that'll once again freshen up the franchise. It's a success, though slightly less so than Sonic 10. Tails 3 releases and isn't really based off of any game. It just continues whatever Tails' arc was from the last 2 movies. It's less successful than the previous 2 Tailses. Sonic the Hedgehog 12 releases and adapts Sonic and the Black Knight. This movie marks the end of the 4th Sonic movie trilogy. It's less successful than Sonic 11. This movie marks the end of the series as we know it. These movies are doing pretty good, but time after time, they're bringing in less and less money. The higher-ups have an idea as to how to boost sales. And the series, they give that general concept to the creative team and tell them to flesh it out into a complete movie. The movie, Sonic the Hedgehog 13, has the original Eggman being brought back to life. It's kind of crazy to think that he died in Sonic 6, and ever since then, it's been a robot duplicate of him that's been running around and causing the heroes trouble. He's back pretty much just for the nostalgia. Because he's been absent from the series for so long, he'll need to be caught up on what's happened since he's left. Eggman being brought back also allows for a really cool scene where the original Eggman destroys the robot duplicate Eggman. Anyways, the main plot of the movie is that Eggman secretly kidnaps basically all of the cast from the franchise in what looks like something similar to the Egg Grapes from the Archie comics. The only characters not kidnapped are Sonic and Tom. The two go on an adventure traveling through a couple of the locations in the first Sonic movie to find their friends. This plot is really just an excuse to bring this movie series full circle. The movie's a pretty big success. The reason why? Well, it's the end of the series and by extension this beloved version of the character. People want to see how the saga that they, at the very least at one point, cared about ends. With the series over, Paramount looks to reboot it. This new reboot will have a bit of a different philosophy than the original series. Its main goal will be to take things slow and not worry about building up a gigantic mythos. It will also be completely animated in a cartoony style, as opposed to the semi-realistic approach of the animation in the first franchise. This new franchise won't just mark the beginning of this new Sonic solo series though, as a wealth of new Sonic-related animation will come from the brand new animation studio that Paramount has working on the movies. A new first Sonic the Hedgehog movie is released. It's an adaptation of the game Sonic 1, as even though back in the day the creative team told themselves that the first Sonic movie of the original franchise was sort of an adaptation of Sonic 1, it really wasn't. And that reasoning just acted as an excuse for them to move into adapting Sonic 2 and 3K. This new movie franchise's first trilogy will consist of adaptations of the first 3 Sonic Genesis games. Anyways, this movie follows Sonic speeding through the Genesis Classics locations as he takes out Badniks and defeats Eggman. As this is a reboot and people want to know what's become of Sonic movies, it's a hit. After the first film, a new show releases. It's an Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog 6-episode miniseries revival. It, along with other new Sonic shows, are released to a streaming service and are well liked by fans. After that, a final season of Sonic S.T.H.M.I, wrapping up the story of that show, is released. It's once again well liked by fans. So, any plans of making a Sonic OVA 3 are scrapped, and the experimental Sonic Legacy animation is left to the small screen. Speaking of that small screen, after the release of the Sonic OVA 2, a final season of Sonic Underground comes out, wrapping up the story of that show. It's well liked by fans. After that comes the release of a final season of Sonic X, finishing that show. It's once again well liked by fans. With 2 more programs having released, the Sonic the Hedgehog Movie 2 comes out. It adapts the game Sonic 2. You know what that means? Tails is introduced. It's a success. After that movie, a 6-episode Sonic Boom miniseries is released. It's well liked by fans. This show marks the end of the production of Sonic Legacy Animation, as all of Sonic's cartoons and anime throughout the years have been revisited. Sonic 3 releases and is an adaptation of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. It's a success. With Sonic 3 having introduced Knuckles, a first season of the Knuckles show is released. It takes some material and lore from the general Archie Sonic comics and the Archie Knuckles solo comic series. This season of television is important because it's the first in-continuity TV that has been produced. It's not only well liked by fans, but it's a mega hit in general. With the first trilogy of Sonic movies done, the creative team look to what they can do with the next one. They land on an idea, a trilogy consisting solely of crossover movies. Sonic the Hedgehog 4 is a crossover with the Super Mario series, which is a dream come true for fans. Amy is introduced in this movie. The modern Sonic designs for the characters are also introduced in this movie. It's a success. Sonic 5 is a crossover with Mega Man, which happened in the Archie comics twice. It's a success, though less so than Sonic 4. Knuckles Season 2 releases. It, like the first season, takes primary inspiration from the Knuckles solo comic. It's a mega hit, similar to how Season 1 was. Sonic 6 is a crossover with Zelda, with the art design of the movie being taken from the Zelda crossover with Sonic Lost World. It's a success, though less so than Sonic 5. Knuckles Season 3 releases. It continues to take from Archie Sonic Knuckles. This final season of the show is, just like the previous 2 seasons, a mega hit. With another trilogy done, the creative team looks towards the future of another Sonic movie franchise, as working on this one is beginning to bore them. They ask the higher-ups, who agree that soon things need to be rebooted again, as each movie has been making less and less money, and the mega hit of the Knuckles show is now over. The higher-ups do want the creative team to do one more thing with this iteration of the character, though. Make one last trilogy. The creative team agreed to make this last trilogy and get to work. This last trilogy of movies, Sonic the Hedgehog 7 through 9, is an adaptation of Sonic Forces. These movies flesh out that game's story and bring out interesting ideas that the game didn't bother to explore. These movies wrap up this version of Sonic's story. Sonic 7 does worse than Sonic 6, and Sonic 8 does worse than Sonic 7, but Sonic 9 is a big hit as it's the conclusion to this version of the character that people have been following for quite a while now. And with that, the creative team looks to the future of Sonic the Hedgehog movies. Thank you for watching S.T.H.M.I. Tune in next time as we'll cover even more Sonic the Hedgehog movies.